Welcome to the series You Are Loved. My goal is to share people's incredible stories in the hopes of encouraging you to keep going no matter how hard it is, and to show you how loved you are by your Heavenly Father. You are about to hear Josh and Christina's heartwarming story. These two got married when she found out she was pregnant, and the marriage was anything but good. Josh was a functioning addict living a double life. After DUIs, legal trouble, and losing every job he had, he knew he needed help. Christina tried so hard to be who he needed, but everything began changing when she finally put the fate of her husband in the Lord's hands. The sweetest part of this video is how Christina answers me when I ask her to tell me what life looks like now. Watch to see.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Josh Schlussler. I'm originally from Florida, and I moved back 2016 to Maryville, Tennessee, and that's where I've been residing since.
He's my husband. And I'm Christina Schlussler, and I moved here to Tennessee in 2008, also from South Florida. Then we reconnected, and now we're married.
Hey.
So sweet. All right, so tell me about your old life, your life before Jesus, your life before the recovery program that you went through.
So I grew up in church, with church all my life. And when we moved to Tennessee when I was 18, was when my faith was tested, because I was ripped away from everything that I knew was comfortable with. And I had to pursue Jesus for myself and figure out who he was for me, not just with who I was surrounding myself with. So after that, I lost my way a little bit. I always jokingly say I reached my emo stage late in life, and my rebellious stage late in life. But thank God he was always faithful and he was always there, and I had praying parents. We've actually known each other since we were very young, but we lost contact and then we reconnected. And yeah,
There we go.
God's been working on this ever since.
Did you grow up in church too?
Yes, I'm actually, my father is in the ministry. We started off in a Messianic ministry, so I have a pretty good foundation. I was involved in that, traveled with my family, doing these type of things to different countries, coming back. And when I reached about the teenage years, I really started at that rebellion stage, and just want to do things my way, and everything that falls with that. And just constant issues. I felt like something was missing, and there was like something with me that was different, and I seeked for the world, to try to fix that. So, I mean, everything under the sun, I was testing boundaries, testing different things, and that's where I fell into addictions, and my life just got completely lost. Made close calls. Fortunately, the Lord was able to spare me. Only thing I can think back is, right before I had the opportunity to reconnect with her, but I had an overdose that, it was like medically I should have been gone for that. And fortunately, it was a situation to be able to get to the hospital, get taken care of, right amount. God wasn't even part of the picture at the time. And I spent so much time blaming God for the things I'm dealing with instead of asking for help. And that's where things changed for me. So, yeah, it's been a very rough ride.
So how long have you two been married?
3 years now. Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, we've been dating
We were dating since 2016.
a very long time. So, yeah, we've been together for a while.
So how was your marriage in the beginning?
Rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, for the most part, I was a functioning addict and alcoholic. I was able to keep this stuff kind of in the darkness. But it's living a double life, being blinded. And you never successful doing that. And she was very intelligent. She obviously knew what was going on. And it was really, because it was going on while we were dating. When we got married, that's when it really just hit the fan. We had Kira, our daughter, and it just went downhill very quickly.
It was really hard. As someone who grew up in church and knew better for a lot of things that we were doing before we were married, ended up pregnant before we were married. That was a hard thing to come to terms with. Obviously, we decided, okay, this happened, we're going to make it right. we got married, and, you know, he said, I'm going to stay with you through this, and we're going to take care of it together. We have a beautiful, almost 3-year-old now, and she's God, the biggest blessing to us and our family, and definitely used her to heal our families in a lot of ways. But it was really hard, I would say, dealing with postpartum during having a fully addict partner is not easy. I actually didn't really get to deal fully with my postpartum until he went into the recovery program, because I was the default parent. It was a really, really rough. I mean, we went from being barely talking and dating, because we were not really together, to finding out I was pregnant, and now, oh gosh, we got to fix this. So we went from not really talking to becoming husband and wife and parents in the same year during COVID.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me the transition. It went from rough. It's not rough anymore. What happened in between that changed?
God. And me personally finally surrendering my full trust of him to the Lord, or else it wouldn't get done, you know? So I would always jokingly say, like, I have faith in God with everything in my life. I just can't trust it with Josh. And I'd say it jokingly, but deep down inside, it was true. I would always try and fix everything so it would work. And I finally got my blue chip for surrender about that. And a week later, he got his blue chip and went to True Purpose. And I feel like my finally surrendering was God saying, okay, now that you've given it to me, I can do what I need to do with it. So for me, it was surrendering him to God, whatever that meant, whatever, as long as his soul was saved. And I was like, if we're not together, if we're, you know, wherever this takes us, Lord, it's not under my control anymore. And that for me was such a big weight off my shoulders, because it wasn't my responsibility to begin with, but I kept taking it like if it was. And then I was able to heal all the hurts that I had been dealing with. And then God was able to work with him. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I couldn't keep a job. There was one point I had 2 jobs, and it was kind of going good, but I got a DUI, and I started having more legal issues, and I just got completely out of hand. And there was a graduate, True Purpose Ministries. He kept the phone on, say it like that, you know, and really was just putting that bug in my ear. But I kept justifying, like, listen, you know, I gotta pay these bills. I got this rent to pay, and, you know, excuse after excuse after excuse, and end up losing another job. Came in there, messed up, and that was just it for me. That was my breaking point. Now I was like, I'm gonna lose this place. I'm gonna be homeless. Just everything. I don't have family anymore. It's like, what's the point of going on with this kind of stuff? And I called her. I said, I think I want to go to True Purpose. And I talked to this guy. It was Carlos. He's the house director there. And we spoke on the phone. And he approved me to be able to come there. Thank God we just did it over the phone. And he could tell I was needing help. And I told her, I was like, I think about going to True Purpose. She was like, yeah, I think you need to do that. So that was my turning point. It's like actually like absolutely surrendering everything. Like, you know, and with what they say is like, you know, yes, you're going to lose this, but you're going to gain so much more. That was proof right there of what has been said on that. You know, I guess I gave up all my possessions, my freedom for the first 90 days, pretty much. But you know what? I wasn't mad about it, because you know, I couldn't handle my own life, so I need this help. And that was the sowing of the seeds moment right there. And now we're actually starting to see what we get to reap from this decision. It's been nothing but, I mean, blessing after blessing after blessing.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Tell me what life looks like now. Where are you at in the program? Where are you at in marriage and life? What's going on?
So I'll be on the 22nd picking up my 9-month chip. This is the longest time I've been sober since I was 17 years old. So that was a huge milestone for me. We were able to find a home that the Lord provided for us, that we were just fit the needs that we absolutely had through my boss that we met at our church. Yeah, he's just been godsend for helping me out in my times, knowing like my background and the type of person I am. You know, you get labeled, unfortunately, out in the rest of the world, and you look past that stuff. He was like, look, I'll bring you in, I'll teach you a new trade. And it's just been absolute blessing. And now I'm able to like be the man I need to be. God intended me to be, you know, and God puts people in your lives for that. And now our marriage is best it's ever been.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, for me, I feel like I got my best friend back. It's been a while since I've seen him smile for real and happy for real. So it's incredible. The separation has been rough. The time we're getting back, it's just incredible. Like, we went on our anniversary trip and, you know, just all these little things that we actually have a real connection now. It's not just like, well, we're married, this is what we have to do, you know. It's like we're best friends again.
And I can tell when I see you guys look at each other, it's just precious. So there's a lot of people out there who are going through similar struggles to what you guys went through. And it's hard when it's, you know, a marriage and one couple is in addiction or both couples are in addiction. And I know there are probably a lot of people who feel like giving up. And I'm sure there are times when you have felt like giving up, like you're just too far gone to fix this, that you're too far gone for God to still use you. So what would you tell those people who are feeling like that?
I would say to seek God in every decision that you make. What is good for someone else might not be what God is having you do. And during times where a lot of people have advice for you, I would definitely be praying what advice to accept and to really be seeking God. And also being humble and willing to forgive.
even when everything's at its worst, you know, God is still looking for you. And you can't see the hand that's in front of your face. And you feel like burned every bridge. And you're completely alone. You're never really alone. You really see God, honestly. When you start bringing God into your life, that's the light that you need. Be honest with yourself. And when you come in to a place like, you know, like what we have in Celebrate Recovery, you're going to find a family that you desperately been looking for. And we will take care of you. And it's just, it's like, I just don't know how to explain it. It's just like, it literally changed my life. I found God this way, and I have like a whole new appreciation about things. I mean, to a point, I even see my wife differently, and seeing that love, that light that has always been there. Like, it changed the dynamic of everything. Man, I'm not going to stay here to be the post job, be like, oh, life's perfect. Life's going to be great. Oh, there's going to be days you're still going to struggle. But you know what? You're not alone, and you'll never be alone. That there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Everything's right around the corner. Everything's got a season that you'll be strong enough. You'll be able to do this. These days that you feel like giving up, man, just sleep it off. Just one more time. You'll be fine. I promise. You got this.
I think the world has a mixed up opinion sometimes on what love is and what it looks like. How does it look different to you today, or how would you describe it?
I know I love my wife. I knew I love my daughter, but I didn't feel it inside. There's nothing that was really there. And now, opening my heart up, let God come in there. Now I understand what this love is. And she's, this whole time, I mean, she's standing right next to me after all this. That is a example of the same love that Jesus gave us. Doesn't matter what goes through. I'm still going to be there. I still love you. Even though I might not be there, I still love you for that. You know, she'll show that to me. And I was like, okay, I kind of get it, you know, it's because it's infallible. You don't understand that. But that's what changed my idea of like what really love is.
Well, like I said, I grew up with church and God and all that. And I was blessed to have a really great, like, earthly dad that was a really good example of God's love. So for me, at first getting married, I was questioning God all the time. Like, I know what real love is, and I know this is not it. So for me, it was like, do I stay and fight, or do I leave? And it got real close. It got real close. I had papers in hand. I had papers in hand. It was really close. But it was at that point where I was like, I've tried everything except surrendering. Yeah. And I surrendered. And that was where God was able to work. And now I see that love and that godly love on you now, and how he is with us, me and my daughter. And I'm like, yes, this is real love. This is how it's supposed to be.
I love that you stuck with it and stayed with him and you chose to fight. So, no, I'm really grateful that you came and shared with us today. I know this story is going to really touch a lot of people. And so thank you for being willing to just open up and share that.
You should.
Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to join us next week to hear another incredible story. Also, subscribe or follow so you never miss an episode. If you haven't already checked out True Purpose Ministries, be sure to do that. It is a fantastic organization that helps men and women lead a life of lasting sobriety in order to fulfill their God-given purpose. The most important thing I want you to know from today is that you know, no matter how far you have run from God, it is never too late. There is always hope because you are loved. God bless.